This cost over $10 billion to build. It has exact replicas of Venice, the French Riviera, and Italian villages. It's located on one of Asia's most beautiful islands. So why is absolutely nobody here? This is Phu Quoc, Vietnam's largest island. Crystal clear waters, white sand beaches, and it's cheaper than Thailand. It should be packed with tourists. The Vietnamese government certainly thought so. They spent the last decade turning this sleepy fishing island into what they hoped would be the Pearl of Asia. But something went terribly, terribly wrong. And to understand why, we need to talk about the most bizarre development project in Southeast Asia. Welcome to Grand World Phu Quoc. This is a $2.7 billion theme park and entertainment complex that opened in 2022. And it's absolutely insane. You've got a mini Venice complete with gondolas and singing gondoliers. There's a French harbor town with cafes and bistros, an Italian village with a Colosseum-inspired arena, Mediterranean plazas, Bavarian beer halls, an entire fake Europe in the middle of tropical Vietnam. The attention to detail is actually impressive. Real marble, hand-painted frescoes. They didn't cut corners. They spent more per square meter than some actual European cities spend on restoration. But here's the thing, there's almost nobody here. And Grand World is just the beginning, because Phu Quoc isn't just building one fake European city. The entire island has been transformed into the world's most expensive ghost resort. You've got Vin Wonders, a 50-hectare theme park, Vin Pearl Safari, Vietnam's largest zoo, Corona Casino, a billion-dollar casino complex designed to look like an Italian palace, the Sun World Hantam cable car, the world's longest ocean-crossing cable car at 7.9 kilometers. There are luxury resorts everywhere. We're talking Marriott, Intercontinental, Vin Pearl properties, dozens of them. 5-star hotels with private beaches, infinity pools, world-class spas, and they're all sitting at like 30% capacity. Some days, even less. Conservative estimates put total investment in Phu Quoc's tourism infrastructure at over $10 billion in the last decade alone. Some analysts say it's closer to $15 billion. That's more than the GDP of some countries. All invested in an island that gets a fraction of the tourists that Thailand's Phuket receives. So what happened? Well, the Vietnamese government had a vision. In 2012, they granted Phu Quoc Special Economic Zone status. The idea was simple: turn this unknown island into Asia's next mega tourist destination. And they had a secret weapon: casinos. You see, gambling is illegal in Vietnam, except in designated zones. And foreign tourists can gamble in Phu Quoc. The government thought this would be their ace card. Build the casinos, the tourists will come. They didn't come. Problem number one. Phu Quoc is actually kind of hard to get to. Yeah, there's an international airport, but direct flights are limited. Most tourists have to connect through Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. Compare that to Phuket or Bali. Dozens of direct international flights daily. Problem number two, they overbuilt. Like, massively overbuilt. Industry experts estimate Phu Quoc added over 20,000 hotel rooms in just 5 years. To put that in perspective, that's more rooms than were added to all of Vietnam's other islands combined during the same period. Problem number three, the timing was catastrophic. A lot of this infrastructure was completed in 2020 and 2021, right when COVID shut down international travel. These billion-dollar properties opened to nobody. They just sat there, bleeding money, waiting for tourists that wouldn't come for years. Problem number four, and this is the big one. They misunderstood what tourists actually want. Here's the thing. When people travel to Southeast Asia, they're looking for Southeast Asia. The temples, the street food, the tropical beaches, the authentic culture. Nobody flies 12 hours to Vietnam to see a fake Venice. Phu Quoc had a unique identity. It was famous for fish sauce, actually some of the best in the world. It had fishing villages, pearl farms, pepper plantations. a fascinating history as a former prison island during the Vietnam War. But instead of highlighting what made it special, developers tried to turn it into something it's not. And there's something genuinely weird about wandering through these empty European streets. The staff outnumber the guests. Restaurants are fully set up, waiters standing ready for nobody. It's got serious dystopian vibes, like a theme park after closing time, except it never actually opened. You can see abandoned building sites all over the island, rusting cranes, half-finished hotels, overgrown lots. The Vin Group, the massive conglomerate behind most of Phu Quoc's development, has reportedly lost hundreds of millions on their properties here. Some local analysts say the company's stock took a hit partially because of Phu Quoc's underperformance. Local business owners who invested everything into restaurants, tour companies, and shops are struggling. Many have already closed. The island's economy is in this weird limbo, too developed to go back to fishing and farming, but not successful enough as a tourist destination to sustain itself. And here's the really sad part. The Vietnamese government is actually doubling down. They've announced plans for even more development, more resorts, more theme parks, more entertainment complexes. The official target is 8 million tourists per year by 2030. For context, they got about 3 million in 2024, and many of those were domestic tourists on short weekend trips. The math just doesn't math. Phu Quoc isn't alone in this. Across Asia, there are examples of massive tourism developments that failed to materialize. Malaysia's Forest City, a $100 billion development that's basically empty. China has multiple ghost city resort projects. The Philippines has abandoned casino complexes. There's a pattern here. Governments and developers see tourism as easy money. Build it big, build it flashy, and tourists will magically appear. But modern travelers are sophisticated. They research, they read reviews, they share experiences on social media. You can't just manufacture a destination anymore. You can't fake authenticity. And you definitely can't build a fake European city in Asia and expect people to choose it over actual Europe or over authentic Asian experiences. The irony is that Phu Quoc's natural beauty is legitimately world-class. Those beaches, incredible. The diving and snorkeling, some of the best in Southeast Asia. The sunsets, absolutely stunning. They had everything they needed. They just tried too hard. So what's happening now? Well, Phu Quoc is trying to pivot. They're marketing more to domestic tourists, Vietnamese families looking for a weekend getaway. That's helped a bit. Some resorts are offering massive discounts. We're talking 50 to 70% off rack rates. And there is a small community of expats and digital nomads discovering it. Because here's the thing, if you can get past the weird European cosplay vibe, Phu Quoc is actually pretty nice. It's cheap, it's safe, the beaches are beautiful, and because it's so empty, you basically have the place to yourself. But that's not what $10 billion worth of infrastructure needs to survive. These massive resorts, theme parks, and entertainment complexes need tens of thousands of tourists, not hundreds. They need full flights and packed hotels. And right now, that's just not happening. Phu Quoc might be the clearest example yet of what happens when ambition massively outpaces reality. When developers and governments forget that you can't force a destination to become popular. When billions of dollars are spent on what people think tourists want, instead of what tourists actually want.